Hello student, welcome in the lecture series of physics. Now we are going to study next chapter, that is magnetic field due to electric current. Now we focus on the first topic of this chapter, that is magnetic force. You know about the electric current. Due to electric current, mainly three effects are observed. First is a heating effect, second is a magnetic effect, third is a chemical effect. We are going to study detail about the magnetic effect. Oersted was the first scientist to discover magnetic effect of electric current. He found that when an electric current is passed through a wire, a magnetic needle placed near the wire shows a deflection. Therefore, magnetic field is produced by an electric current passing through a wire. Next, scientists Gauss and Henry Faraday find out that magnetic field is an important partner of electric field. Maxwell gives the close relationship of electric and magnetic field. 10th standard, you studied about right hand thumb rule. We revise it. Consider conductor carrying a current I is held in your right hand. Due to current, magnetic field is produced around a conductor. Direction of magnetic field is given by the curled fingers. Therefore, we can say that imagine the conductor carrying a current to be held in your right hand with fingers curled around it and a thumb stretched around its length in the direction of current. The curled fingers then indicate the direction of magnetic field. Consider Fleming's left hand rule. Hold your first finger, middle finger and thumb of left hand such as they are perpendicular to each other. Means first finger is perpendicular to middle finger, also it is perpendicular to the thumb. Then first finger gives direction of magnetic field, middle finger gives direction of current, then thumb gives the direction of force acting on a conductor, that is in the direction of motion of conductor. Now we study magnetic force. For that, consider case number 1. Consider a conductor carrying a current I. If plus Q is the charge placed at rest at point P near a conductor, there is no force acting on the charge plus Q. We can say that there is no appreciable electric field at point P. Now consider case second, in which current carrying conductor is placed and plus Q charge is projected from point P in the direction of current. V is the velocity of projection. What happens here? Plus Q charge is deflected toward the conductor. There must be a field at point P which exerts force on charge when it is projected. Such a force is called as a magnetic force. If we consider case number 1, in which there is no force on the rest charge, means magnetic force is exerted when plus Q charge is projected, and such a force is the magnetic force. Now we see the magnetic force. For that, consider a plane in which Q is the positive charge moving in a uniform magnetic field B vector with a constant velocity V vector. Now, charge plus Q will experiences a force Fm known as magnetic force, which is perpendicular to the plane containing B vector and V vector, where Fm is the magnetic force on plus Q charge. Now this Fm is given by the formula according to theory. Fm vector is equal to Q into bracket V vector cross B vector, where Q is the magnitude of the charge, V vector cross B vector gives the vector product of two vector, and that is the third vector, that is Fm vector. We can see in this diagram also. Let theta be the smaller angle between V vector and B vector. Therefore, we can write down the equation Fm is equal to QVB sin theta into n cap, where n cap is a unit vector pointing in a direction perpendicular to the plane of V vector and B vector. If we write down this magnetic force in a magnitude, we will write Fm is equal to QVB sin theta. Means force depends on the magnitude of the charge, also velocity of a particle, and intensity of the magnetic field, also depends on the sign of the angle between V vector and B vector. Magnetic force depends on Q, V, B and theta. Now suppose if both electric and magnetic field are present, net force on the charge Q moving with velocity V is given by vector F is equal to Q into vector E plus Q into bracket vector V cross vector B, that is equal to Fe vector plus vector Fm, where vector Fe is the force due to electric field, vector Fm is force due to magnetic field. Means resultant force is the addition of both the forces, that is force due to electric field and force due to magnetic field. This is Lorentz force. Means the force experienced by a charged particle in a region where both electric and magnetic field exist is called Lorentz force. Means Lorentz force is due to both the forces, force due to electric field and force due to magnetic field. Now we consider special cases for magnetic force. That's why we consider in magnitude Fm is equal to QVB sin theta. Consider case first. If charge is stationary, means velocity of a charge is equal to 0. Even if magnetic field is not 0, then above equation will become Fm is equal to 0. Means a stationary charge in a magnetic field experiences no magnetic force. Case second, if the velocity of a charged particle is parallel to the direction of magnetic field, then theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree. Putting in above equation, that is Fm is equal to QVB sin 0, you will get Fm is equal to 0. Means when a charge is moving parallel to the direction of magnetic field, experiences no magnetic force. Fm is equal to 0. Consider case third. If a velocity of a charged particle is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, at that time theta equal to 90 degree. Put in equation Fm is equal to QVB sin 90 degree. Sin 90 degree is equal to 1. You will get maximum force Fm is equal to QVB. This is the maximum force experienced by a charged particle moving in a magnetic field, and its direction is given by Fleming's left hand rule. Now we find out unit of magnetic field. For that, consider a magnitude of force. Fm is equal to QVB sin theta. If we rearrange this equation, you will get B is equal to Fm upon QV sin theta. Also, if we consider magnetic force is equal to 1 Newton, charge is 1 coulomb, velocity is 1 meter per second, and theta is equal to 90 degree, then we will get unit of B, that is equal to Newton second per coulomb meter. This can be written as Newton per coulomb second raised to minus 1 into meter. Coulomb second raised to minus 1 is nothing but an ampere. Therefore, this equation will become Newton per ampere meter, and in the honor of Tesla scientist, it's given the name Tesla. Or another unit of magnetic field is Weber per meter square. Therefore, 1 Tesla is equal to 1 Weber per meter square, that is equal to 1 Newton per ampere meter. Also, there is a relation between Tesla and Gauss, and that relation is 1 Tesla is equal to 10 raised to 4 Gauss. Now, we find out dimensions of magnetic field. We know the equation Fm is equal to QVB sine theta. We rearrange this equation. We can write down B is equal to Fm upon QV sine theta. Also, we can put here dimensions of Fm, that is equal to m to the power 1, L to the power 1, T to the power minus 2. That is the dimension of force upon dimension of charge, that is A to the power 1, T to the power 1. Then dimension of velocity, L to the power 1, T to the power minus 1. And angle have no dimensions. Now we see, by rearranging these dimensions, we will get the dimension of magnetic field m to the power 1, A to the power minus 1 and T to the power minus 2. Consider example, if the magnetic field is parallel to the positive y-axis and charge particle is moving along positive x-axis. As shown in figure, which way would the Lorentz force be for an electron negative charge and for a proton positive charge? Observe this figure. Now let us consider positive charge, that is proton, moving along x-axis with velocity v vector, and magnetic field which is perpendicular to the velocity vector and which is inside the plane of paper. Then according to right hand screw rule, if we move from v vector to b vector, it gives the third vector, means Lorentz force is along the third vector, that is z axis, positive z axis, means proton will experiences a force along the positive z axis, and electron which is opposite direction of the proton, therefore Lorentz force on an electron is along the negative z axis, means we will get answer. The velocity of a particle is along x axis and the magnetic field B vector is along y axis. So vector V cross vector B is along z axis. So for the electron it will be along minus z axis, and for proton the force is along plus z axis. Now we consider MCQs. First, a moving electric charge produces dash dash. First option, both electric and magnetic field. Second option, electric field only. Third option, magnetic field only. Fourth action, neither of these two field. A moving electric charge produces both the fields, electric and magnetic fields. Now we see second, the force F experienced by a particle of charge Q moving with velocity V in a magnetic field B is given by. There are four options. Vector F is equal to Q into bracket vector V cross vector B. Second option, vector F is equal to Q into bracket vector B cross vector V. Third option, F vector is equal to vector V cross vector B. Fourth option, F vector is equal to Q into bracket vector V dot vector B. Now see, according to the magnetic force, we can write down the answer F vector is equal to Q into bracket V vector cross B vector. If we consider option second, there is B vector cross V vector. As it is a vector product of two vector, we can't write B vector cross V vector. And in third option, Q is missing. That will not be the option, correct option. And in third or fourth option, there is a V vector dot B vector, as there is a scalar product. But we don't consider in the magnetic force that scalar product. Actually, there is only vector product between V vector and B vector. Therefore, our answer is F vector F is equal to Q into bracket vector v cross vector b. Thank you.